room to breathe. When you're up and down. That is the secret. Channeling your breath through movement that calls us home to ourselves, to our heart center, where we have the power to change the trajectory of our day by changing the trajectory of the moment, which then changes everything. Thoughts create beliefs, create behaviors, create actions, outcomes, results. It is our responsibility, our ability to respond, that allows us to choose something that will serve us better than something that we previously used to choose. Breath is our ticket home to ourselves, and finding those like us who give us permission by their example to be ourselves opens a world of possibilities. It is all about gathering tools within the spiritual toolbox of our inner kingdom in order to use those team players of our time, energy, effort, attention, and money to transmute what we've been given into something better. And it is by non-attachment. That's what it means to become full of inner peace. And it's what I have been marinating in for nearly 2 years as I have wrote what I thought was one book I could knock off in a month, and instead has turned into a series that I'm still working out the specifics around, but it's coming together because I gave myself the grace of space to find my purpose. And it's what is required of us all: gentleness, compassion, kindness, self-care, through a special practice that honors our soulful nature. That is sacred. It's about the physiological movements that keep the vessel our soul chose as the container for this lifetime whole, complete, and healthy. It's about the emotional mind that contains all of our choices, because each choice has created a feeling, and those feelings are what we store as beliefs that create the BS that rules our inner world. The inner kingdom within us that it is time to learn how to enter. And if you're seeking before my book comes out, I would highly, highly, highly recommend Carolyn Mace's book, Entering the Castle. The conscious mind is the C in special, in your special practice, my special practice. It is about understanding how we come to think as we do, and how to consciously participate in that creative process by either accepting, neglecting, or rejecting any and all of what we hear. And then it is about your intuition, being the inner teacher, the inner knowing, the in-tuition that we paid before we got here, that our soul said, yes, we will use this as our way to express and experience ourselves as the divine beings that we are, the individuated expressions of the grand overall designer from which we all came and to which we will all return. It is about then coming into alignment with our authentic nature, who we truly are, rather than who we thought we needed to be. It's about lifting off those veils of expectation and illusion in order to stand fully in our power. It is about calling ourselves home through breath, the marriage of birth and death. And then it is about love and bubbles, because bubbles represent boundaries, and if we don't have boundaries, then we cannot respect others nor ourselves, because if we don't know what we stand for, we will fall for anything. And love, because that's all there really is. Love, because fear is simply the absence of it, the veiling of it, the false evidence appearing real that we think is the reality that makes up our lives. The realistic evidence appearing legit in tomorrow's yesterday that calls us out of the present moment into the past or the not now moment. It is time for us to use a special practice to come home to ourselves using our breath, as I've mentioned many times, because repetition is the master key to all learning. We must repeat it enough times that it becomes familiar and comfortable, and once it does that, then we feel like it's accessible to us. When we have that special practice, we can more easily maneuver the high rise of emotional awareness that each of us are maneuvering every single day through 22 different emotional experiences that are all contained within the same apartment building, same address, completely different perspective of life depending on which level of emotion we are looking at life through, realizing that emotion is E-motion, energy in motion. It is time for us to honor ourselves and find others who want to, choking on your own breath. When there is an interruption in the flow, pay attention, because it is teaching you something, either not integrated yet, or just saying, hey, pay attention to this. It's hard to get that out because you're still coming to a new understanding and comfort level with it. Everything matters. Everything. Animals come across our path at a particular time because they have a message to deliver, and sometimes they will sacrifice themselves in order to deliver that message. We must develop the eyes to see all the answers that are given to us, realizing that the quality of our lives will be a direct reflection of the quality of questions we are willing to ask ourselves. I ended that at 7:33, master numbers, numerology. Anytime there's a repeating number that you notice, type into Google or whichever search engine you use, numerology, symbolism, and the number that you see, and learn what the pattern is. Even if it means nothing to you, no thing means nothing. Remember, there is significance in everything if only we are willing to look beyond the literal world that we live in and see the symbolic, mythic, and energetic behind it. This is what we are now lifting the veils to, and I, along with many others, are teachers and guides into this new age, old wisdom era that we are now in. It is the reason that there is so much chaos, because there is always chaos before the calm, and there is always calm before the chaos. And we must realize that we are constantly in flow, ebbs and flows. It is the law of rhythm. It is the law of nature. It is the universal law, and for universal laws, there is no contesting. It just is like gravity. Up, it will fall if you let it go. Breathe yourself home, my friends, and have a fabulous day. Lauren J. Keegan Wayman. Have a fabulous day, guys. Namaste.